The boat is moving along at 4 knots. 2 days, which is more than enough for me to get to Lunenburg. Put another reef in the main, the third reef. Still blowing 40, and it's Monday, May 10th, and we have left Bermuda at 11 o'clock this morning. 2:30, cooking a meal, and it was a great time in Bermuda. I've got 2 weather systems to cross, but today we're making great progress. I'm on course and I'm doing 6 knots. You can see this screen here has AIS hooked up to it, so automatic identification system, something like that. Anyway, see a little green dot? That's a big boat about a mile off from my bow. And I get out of bed because I see that little thing, and if there's an alarm goes off, I know that potential collision. It calculates. Anyway, I'm moving along. It's 12:10 Tuesday, and I think I'm on the outside edge of that front, so I'm going to try to skirt along that just to maintain the wind. Had an interesting night last night. That storm you see off our stern to the south is the shit we went through last night, and we're still in that system, but we're on the, I guess you could call it the fair weather side. And last night was a handful. I had to go forward and untangle my jib sheet and do a jibe in about 40 knots of wind, 35 knots of wind. I'm glad that's over. I managed to get a couple hours sleep too, so I'm feeling better. And make a cup of coffee this morning. Nice morning, albeit with the same wind right on my stern and light. It's like 10 to 12 knots right now. So I'm going to look at my weather option, what my weather looks like in the next couple hours, and then I might shake out that reef and get some more sail up here so the boat can move. But right now I'm running the engine so I can make way and charge the batteries. Well, I'm almost out of this system, hopefully, and once I clear that, I'll have some dead wind probably, and I can get ready for the next system to come through, because there's another one coming off the East Coast, I think. Just wanted to show you where I spent a substantial amount of time while underway. I of course go up to trim sails, check things and everything, and what's on the horizon. But here, thanks to my friend Patty, she made this wonderful cushion, so it's sort of a lee cloth, and prevents me from rolling off if I'm on a port, if I'm heeled over on a port tack or something like that. But within reach, and right above me actually, is my chart plotter, so I can see what's going on. It has AIS, as I mentioned earlier, that I can see any oncoming traffic, and there has been actually surprising a lot. I got my phone for my podcast, and here this tablet is dedicated to the Iridium system, so I can pull weather down and text friends and family. Anyway, this is my little cocoon. It has made a big difference with passages, with long trips, because I can get a rest in here without falling on the deck. So this is one of a couple of improvements I made to the boat in preparation for this trip. This is June 14th, 1300 hours. I'm motor sailing northwest to avoid that system that's building behind me. Actually, I wish it was a little closer because it would bring some wind. But we're not doing badly. Northwest course, 10 to 11 knots of wind. And as I said, motor sailing. I might try to shut the engine off. I'm actually doing 6 knots. I really don't need to go this fast, but up ahead, I imagine there's going to be some storms later, but I don't think anything untoward. But the wind is supposed to shift around to the northwest, and I'll be have a nice angle for final approach to Nova Scotia. I'm about 275 miles away from Halifax. It's Saturday morning, 8:30. After several days of being calm, I'm in a pretty good sized gale. It's just now seeming to abate, but it got up to 46 knots of wind. I had to go forward and put another reef in the main, the third reef, which was exciting. In a bad way. I seem to have things stabilized. It's still blowing 40. Let's see. Still blowing 40, and just a nasty fucking day. It's Saturday the 14th. That was a hell of a squall. Remember, we started the day watching it approach. Now I'm headed west, and you can see it receding. That was a nasty motherfucker. I have a lot of wet clothes. Boat did really well. The captain, so-so, made a couple of mistakes, but got the boat under control, and we came through it. The only downside is now the wind's coming right out of the north, so another day delay in my arrival, and I'm thinking Lunenburg. Okay, well, I'm gonna take a nap. 6 o'clock in the evening. We're moving along actually at a reasonable pace. The wind switched around after that storm, and I was able to, after the waves calmed down, I was able to tack and make good time. But what has that been, 5 hours? So anyway, this is my first fog bank. My first, what would you call it? New England Maritimes, Canadian Maritimes fog bank. Visibility's dropped to, oh, I'd say about 100 yards. There's like a fine mist. Morning, it's Sunday, June 16th, and I am 165 miles south-southwest of Halifax, or Lunenburg, which is now my stated intended landfall. Last night was a little rocky and rolly. Once I got that reef in, we had 30 knot, 32 knot winds. It finally settled down to a more manageable 20 knots, 22 knots, and kind of crazy seas. You can't really see it, but to the south is that big system that also gave me this great boost, but also God, kicked my ass. It's Monday, June 17th. I am 90 miles south of Lunenburg. Had good sailing yesterday, especially in the aftermath of that squall. Today we have perfect winds that veered around like forecast, and I'm right on target for Lunenburg, 90 miles. My coolant pump shit the bed. Lost all my coolant. Engine didn't overheat. I caught it in time, turned the engine off, of course, but fortunately we have really good conditions. The boat is moving along at 4 knots. I have good weather forecast for the next 2 days, which is more than enough for me to get to Lunenburg and get this coolant pump repaired. Get a hot shower and maybe some other things, provisions for sure. It's pretty nice out here. It's actually kind of warm. It's getting up past 70. It usually gets down to 62 at night. So I'm well rested, because after like 1 o'clock in the morning working on the engine, I realized nothing I can do. Clean it up, close it up, and go to bed. Monday night, 6 o'clock, June 16th. 50 miles to go to Lunenburg, and I'm sore and I'm a little tired, but I've just slowed the boat down. I reefed both sails. Just got overcast, so not going to be a pretty sunset tonight. Everything's okay. Hopefully I get those engine parts. So we're approaching Canada. Already been in touch with the Canadian Coast Guard via radio and also ashore via Iridium to get information about mooring balls, how many boats are in there right now, because I'm going to be sailing in there. Pick a anchor spot or a mooring ball, grab it first try, and then this leg of the trip will be done. Okay. Good morning. It's June 17th, about 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, excuse me. The sun is just coming up. Beautiful sunrise. And that, my friends, over here is Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm nearing the end of the second leg of this voyage, of this trip, and looking good, except for the engine problems. It would be nice to be able to motor into a strange harbor, but I'm going to be sailing in. I don't think it'll be too much trouble, knock on wood, and get anchored. And priority one is get the fuck off this boat. Now, priority one is to find this part I need for that coolant pump on the motor. Straight ahead is Lunenburg, or almost straight ahead. So far so good. I'm clearing this shoal that's somewhere over there. I gotta go sort of eye of the needle. There's a narrow little gap in the cut there, the channel going into the inner harbor. Beautiful boat. Right, well, I'm in Lunenburg, second day. Got here yesterday morning at 8:30 in the morning, and oh dear, and it's June 19th, and it's Wednesday, and this is the morning I woke up. This fog is finally lifting, but was totally socked in this morning. And it's chilly, probably humidity real high, but it's chilly. But today's forecast is for it to be bright sunshine and up to the past 80. All right, we'll see what happens later on today. I'm gonna hopefully got a bunch to do, but get the bike ashore for sure is a good idea, I think.